In this book, you'll learn how to transform your mind by shaping your thoughts into a powerful force. You'll discover how to silence the noise and break free from limiting beliefs. With simple, actionable steps, you'll unlock the potential to create the life you truly want. Thought Sculptor. Introduction. You've always been a work of art. You might not see it right now, but every moment, every thought, every action is chiseling away at the masterpiece you're becoming. The mind is your canvas, your marble, your raw material. It's not fixed, not static, it's moldable. It's waiting for you to pick up the tools and begin shaping. But here's the catch. You're already sculpting, whether you know it or not. The problem is, much of what you've been chiseling hasn't come from your own vision. It's been shaped by outside forces, by the noise of the world, the judgments of others, and even your own doubts. Most of us walk around, mindlessly, allowing the wrong voices to hold the chisel. We let our past failures, other people's expectations, and our fears carve the way for us. In the Thought Sculptor, we take back control. This book isn't about finding a new way to think. It's about uncovering the thoughts and beliefs you've unknowingly let dictate your life, and replacing them with the ones that empower you. You are the artist of your own mind. You're not trapped in the patterns you've created. You have the power to break free, redefine your beliefs, and sculpt the life you've always dreamed of. Each chapter will guide you to tap into your inner creativity, cut through the mental clutter, and carve out the path toward the person you were always meant to be. It's not a quick fix, and it's not about perfection. It's about progress, one thought, one action at a time. So pick up your mental tools, and let's begin the art of sculpting the best version of you. The masterpiece is already inside. Chapter 1. Chipping Away the Noise. There's a voice in your head that sounds like you, but it's not always yours. It's built from other people's opinions, fears, and expectations, collected slowly until you can't tell where they end, and you begin. Before you can sculpt the mind into something intentional, you need to chip away everything that doesn't belong. The world is noisy, and that noise seeps in. From social media, the news, old conversations, past failures, and childhood echoes. It clutters your inner space and makes your thoughts feel messy. But you're not broken, you're just buried. Chipping away the noise means creating silence, not just around you but inside. No phone, no playlist, just you and the breath you've forgotten to listen to. At first, it's uncomfortable. The noise will get louder when you try to escape it, but stay still. Let the mental dust settle. Ask yourself, what thought am I carrying that I didn't choose? That question is your first chisel. Most of what's weighing you down was never meant to be yours. The belief that you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not doing life right. Those thoughts weren't born in you. They were planted. Your real voice is beneath all that. You don't need to fight the noise, just remove what doesn't feel true. Sculpting begins when you stop letting the world shape your mind, and you start shaping it yourself. Chapter 2. Beliefs are not brick walls. Most people treat their beliefs like concrete, fixed, heavy, and impossible to move. But beliefs aren't walls, they're stories, and stories can change. Somewhere along the way, you accepted ideas about yourself, the world, and what's possible. Maybe it was a teacher's comment, a parent's fear, or a moment that hurt. That moment hardened into a belief, and now it feels permanent. But here's the truth. Beliefs are soft until you keep repeating them. The more often a thought plays in your mind, the more solid it seems. But it's still just a thought. You are not trapped by what you believed 5 years ago, or even yesterday. You can rewrite it. Start by noticing the statements you say to yourself. I'm not creative. I always mess things up. People don't change. These are not facts, they're habits. And habits can be reshaped. The brain is plastic, which means it molds. Your thoughts carve pathways, and with practice, you can carve new ones. That's the work of a thought sculptor, not to smash the mind with force, but to gently reshape what feels stuck. You don't need to tear the wall down in a day. Just crack one brick. Ask, is this still true for me? Often, you'll find it never was. The wall crumbles the moment you realize it was made of dust all along. Chapter 3. Every thought leaves a mark. Your thoughts don't just come and go, they leave fingerprints on your mind. Each time you repeat a thought, especially the one soaked in emotion, it carves a little deeper. Think of your brain like soft clay. Every belief, every worry, every I can't or I'm not enough leaves an impression. And over time, those impressions become shapes, patterns, truths you start to live by without questioning. The thing is, most people don't realize they're sculpting anything at all. They think a passing thought doesn't matter, but it does. That one insecure idea repeated daily becomes a habit. That one hopeful idea believed enough times becomes courage. Your mind is always listening, always molding, always building. You are shaping your inner world with each mental whisper. That's why awareness is so powerful. You don't need perfect thoughts, just honest ones. Choose the ones that uplift. Redirect the ones that harm. If your thoughts are like hands, make sure they're creating, not damaging. Every time you think, you're teaching your mind what to expect. So speak to yourself with care. Even in silence, your thoughts are sculpting your future self. Chapter 4. The inner critic is not the artist. Inside your mind lives a voice that doubts everything you do. It points out every flaw, magnifies every mistake, and whispers that you're not enough. That voice isn't the artist, it's the critic. And too often we hand it the chisel. We let it shape how we see ourselves, how we speak to ourselves, and what we believe we're capable of. But the truth is, the inner critic doesn't create. It only comments, it doesn't build. It breaks. And the more we let it speak without question, the more it interrupts the creative process of becoming. The artist in you, your true self, is quiet, focused, gentle, and brave. It imagines. It tries. It learns. The critic, on the other hand, wants safety. It wants perfection before progress. But sculpting your mind, your life, and your future requires risk. It requires letting go of the need to be flawless and choosing to shape something anyway. When the critic speaks, listen but don't obey. Ask, is this voice helping me shape or just making me shrink? If it's shrinking you, step away. The artist needs space. You don't silence the critic by arguing with it. You just keep creating. One thought at a time. One bold step at a time. Let the critic stay in the balcony. You're the one holding the tools. Chapter 5. Raw marble. Your mind as material. Your mind isn't fixed, finished, or final. It's raw marble. Every experience, thought, and emotion leaves a mark, but nothing is set in stone. That's the beauty most people miss. They think the way they think is who they are, but it's really just what's been carved in so far. Underneath all the old shaping is untouched space, pure potential. Just like a sculptor sees a figure hiding in a block of marble, you can learn to see possibility inside your patterns, the anxiety you carry. It's not you. It's just an old groove in the stone. The doubt, the fear, the self-judgment, all carvings made by past moments, not permanent truth. You can smooth them out. You can chisel deeper where you want to grow. You can refine, reshape, and even start over. The mind is more forgiving than you think. But first you have to stop treating it like something already finished. You're not locked into how you've always thought. And you're definitely not broken. You're just unshaped in places that need your attention. The moment you realize your mind is material, not a prison, you take the first step toward freedom. You are not your past carvings. You are the sculptor holding the tool. Chapter 6. Mental Chisels and Tools. Every artist needs the right tools, and so do you. When it comes to sculpting your mind, mental chisels aren't made of metal. They're made of habits, routines, and the mindset you choose to adopt daily. A chisel doesn't work by force. It works by precision, shaping the stone little by little. In the same way, your mind changes through small, intentional actions over time. Meditation, journaling, affirmations, and mindful reflection are your chisels. Each one helps carve away distractions, negative thoughts, and old beliefs, revealing something new beneath the surface. But just like any tool, they require practice to master. You wouldn't try to carve a masterpiece without first getting comfortable with your tools. The same goes for mental tools. You have to use them consistently to sharpen your focus, strengthen your resilience, and refine your mindset. Every day you decide to take a moment to breathe deeply, challenge a negative thought, or visualize a goal. You're chiseling away at the noise and shaping your mind into a work of art. The more you practice, the sharper your tools become, and the more you can create a life that reflects your true potential. Chapter 7. The Power of Thought Repetition. Your thoughts are more powerful than you realize. What you think repeatedly starts to shape who you are, not just in the moment but over time. Each thought is like a stroke of the chisel, carving deeper grooves in your mind. The more you think something, the more your brain rewires itself to believe it. This isn't magic, it's science. Repetition strengthens neural pathways, making it easier to think in certain ways, whether positive or negative. If you constantly think you're not good enough, your mind will start to believe it. But if you repeat thoughts of self-worth, resilience, and possibility, you build a mindset that aligns with those truths. This is the power of thought repetition, the ability to shape your reality by shaping the thoughts that create it. It's not about trying harder. It's about being consistent. Think about the things you want to create in your life and repeat them daily. The more you do, the more those thoughts become your default way of thinking. It's the foundation of sculpting the mind, repeating the thoughts that guide you to your highest potential. So, choose your thoughts like you would choose your tools. Repetition isn't about quantity, it's about quality. The more you focus on what matters, the more it will define you. Chapter 8. Sketch before you sculpt. Before you start shaping your life, it helps to have a clear vision of what you want to create. Think of sculpting a statue. No artist would begin chipping away at a block of marble without first sketching out their vision. Similarly, before you begin to mold your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you need to sketch a picture of your ideal self. This sketch is your vision, your blueprint for who you want to become. Without it, you're working blindly, reacting to life rather than creating it. The mind is incredibly powerful, but it can easily be swept away by circumstances if you don't have a clear direction. Your vision is the guide that keeps you grounded and focused. It allows you to see beyond the moment and imagine the future you desire. Start by asking yourself, what do I want to achieve? What kind of person do I want to be? How do I want to show up in the world? Once you have those answers, begin to picture it in your mind as vividly as possible. Visualize it daily. Picture your ideal life, your best self, and your dreams realized. This act of mental sketching is not just about wishful thinking. It's about creating a detailed map for your journey. It gives your thoughts and actions a sense of purpose. When you have a clear vision, every decision becomes a step toward that vision. You're no longer reacting, you're sculpting with intention. So take the time to sketch your future, because every masterpiece starts with a plan. Chapter 9. Emotions are the Polish. Emotions are often seen as unpredictable, messy, or even a bit out of control. But in reality, they are the finishing touch to your mental masterpiece. While thoughts are the sculpting tools, emotions are the polish that brings everything to life. Think of it like this. Your thoughts create the shape, the structure, the foundation. But it's your emotions that add depth and shine. They're what give your thoughts meaning, weight, and energy. Without emotions, your thoughts would just be dry words on paper. It's your feelings that breathe life into them, turning ideas into action. Positive emotions like love, excitement, and passion can fuel your drive, making you eager to create and move forward. On the flip side, emotions like fear or sadness can guide you toward necessary change, acting like a gentle nudge to help you grow. The key is to let emotions flow, rather than suppress them. Emotions aren't something to fear. They're a natural part of the sculpting process. They act as your inner compass, showing you where to focus and where to refine. But just like a sculptor polishes their creation with care, you need to approach your emotions mindfully. Don't let them control you, but don't ignore them either. Let your feelings guide the final touches, helping you move from raw, unrefined material to a smooth, shining piece of art. Emotions are the magic that brings your thoughts into the world. When you learn to work with them, instead of against them, you unlock a deeper layer of creativity and growth. Chapter 10. Mindset is muscle memory. Just like your muscles grow stronger the more you use them, your mindset becomes more resilient the more you practice it. Think of your mindset as a muscle. If you constantly lift weights, your body adapts, and the weight becomes easier over time. The same is true with your thoughts. When you practice positive, growth-oriented thinking, it becomes more natural and automatic. At first, shaping your mind can feel awkward. Like starting a new workout routine, your thoughts may fight back, resisting change. But the more you train your brain to focus on what's possible, the easier it gets. This is where mindset becomes muscle memory. With consistency, your mind starts to default to healthier, more productive thoughts, just like your body defaults to the strength it's built. When challenges arise, it's not the moment to test your mindset. It's the moment when your mindset reveals what you've been practicing. Think about someone who spent years training for a sport. When they face a tough moment in a game, they don't hesitate. They don't have to consciously think about what to do. They just react, because the movements have been ingrained in them. Your mindset works the same way. With repetition, your brain will automatically respond with resilience, creativity, and calm. The key is consistency. Every day, you're either strengthening or weakening your mindset through your thoughts. And, just like muscle memory, the stronger your mindset becomes, the less effort it takes to make it work for you. Sculpting a powerful mindset isn't about forcing it to change in one moment. It's about daily practice until it becomes second nature. Chapter 11. Breaking Old Statues. We all carry old statues inside us, beliefs, identities, and stories that no longer serve us. These statues were once built from the experiences, opinions, and judgments of others. Maybe they were formed during childhood or in tough situations or by comparing ourselves to the expectations of others. Over time, they harden into mental structures that define who we think we are. But just because something has been a part of you doesn't mean it's meant to stay. It's time to break the old statues. It's easy to believe that who we are is fixed, but in reality we are all works in progress. The statue you've built of yourself can be shattered and remade into something better, something truer. To break these old statues, you first have to notice them. What thoughts do you hold that limit you? What beliefs do you carry that were never yours to begin with? The belief that you're not good enough, that you're stuck, or that you'll always be this way, these are the statues that need to fall. Breaking these old mental structures doesn't mean destroying who you are. It means freeing yourself from limitations. It means making space for new thoughts, new beliefs, and new possibilities. To do this, you must embrace change. It's not easy. It requires the courage to challenge your deepest beliefs and the strength to let go of who you thought you were. But when you break these statues, you create room for a new version of yourself. One that is free to grow, evolve, and step into its full potential. Let go of the old and start sculpting a more authentic you. Chapter 12. Thought Sculpting in Relationships. Your thoughts shape more than just your personal mindset. They also shape how you connect with others. Relationships are not just about the things you say or do, but about the way you think about each person in your life. The mental picture you create of someone can determine how you treat them, how you communicate, and how you feel in their presence. If you think negatively about someone, you build a mental wall that makes it hard to connect. But when you consciously choose to see the best in others, your thoughts sculpt an environment where love, understanding, and trust can flourish. The way you think about your partner, friend, family member, or colleague influences your interactions with them more than you might realize. If you believe someone is difficult or doesn't care, your actions will likely reflect that belief. On the other hand, if you approach them with the thought that they have good intentions, that they are capable of growth, and that they deserve your empathy, your relationship will transform. This is the power of thought sculpting in relationships. It's not about changing others. It's about shifting your perspective. The way you think about someone can either reinforce the connection or chip away at it. Thought sculpting means intentionally choosing how you see and think about the people around you. By focusing on their strengths rather than their flaws, you create space for mutual respect and deeper connection. Relationships, like sculptures, require patience, care, and a willingness to reshape how you see things. When you sculpt your thoughts with kindness and understanding, your relationships will reflect that transformation. Chapter 13. Mental Clutter versus Mental Clarity. Mental clutter is like a messy room. The more stuff you pile in, the harder it is to find what you really need. Your mind works the same way. When it's filled with scattered thoughts, distractions, and worries, it becomes harder to focus on what truly matters. This clutter doesn't just create noise, it makes it difficult to think clearly and make decisions. Thoughts bounce around without purpose, and you feel stuck, overwhelmed, and exhausted. On the other hand, mental clarity is like clearing the space, taking the time to organize, let go of unnecessary things, and focus on what's important. When your mind is clear, it's easier to see your goals, make decisions, and take action. Clarity comes when you quiet the distractions and focus on the present moment. It's the result of removing mental junk, the endless what-ifs, the overthinking, the negativity that holds you back. Achieving clarity starts with creating space. First, get rid of the thoughts that don't serve you, fears that aren't real, worries that haven't happened, and judgments that aren't yours. Then, practice stillness. Quiet your mind, even if just for a few minutes each day. This helps you reconnect with your true thoughts, the ones that come from a place of purpose and peace. Once mental clarity sets in, your mind becomes more focused and productive. You can see the path ahead with more confidence and less confusion. Remember, mental clarity isn't something you find, it's something you create. And it all starts by clearing the clutter. Chapter 14. Reframing as Refining. One of the most powerful tools in sculpting your thoughts is reframing. Reframing is the art of seeing something from a new perspective, transforming how you think about a situation, a person, or even yourself. It's not about ignoring the facts or pretending things are perfect. It's about shifting your view so that you can see the opportunity within the challenge. Think of it like refining the details of a sculpture. The raw material is there, but it's the delicate touches that bring it to life. When life throws a setback your way, your initial reaction may be to feel defeated or discouraged. But reframing allows you to pause and ask, what can I learn from this, or how can this challenge make me stronger? Instead of focusing on the problem, you start to focus on the possibility. When you reframe a negative experience, you're not denying its reality, you're elevating your response to it. It's about moving from victimhood to empowerment. By reframing, you refine your mind, shaping it into something more resilient, more optimistic, and more aligned with your goals. The beauty of reframing is that it gives you control over how you respond to the world around you. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you choose to think about it. And this shift in perspective can make all the difference. Reframing is not just about changing thoughts. It's about refining the way you live. Every time you choose to see something differently, you're chiseling away at the old and revealing a more empowered, clearer version of yourself. Chapter 15. Creative Thinking as Carving Space. Creativity isn't just about making something new. It's about creating space for new ideas to emerge. When you start to sculpt your mind, you're not just chiseling away at old thoughts. You're clearing out room for the possibilities you haven't even thought of yet. Creative thinking is the act of carving mental space, giving your mind the freedom to wander, explore, and imagine without limits. It's like clearing debris from a block of marble to reveal the masterpiece hiding within. At first, the mind may seem crowded with noise, routine, and expectations, but once you start clearing it out, the potential becomes endless. Creative thinking is about letting go of fixed ideas, about freeing yourself from the need for perfection. It's the willingness to let your thoughts roam freely, without immediately judging or limiting them. When you give your mind room to play, you allow new ideas to emerge, often in unexpected ways. Creativity thrives in spaciousness. When there's room for connections to form, for wild ideas to take root, and for possibilities to collide. This doesn't happen in a cluttered, restricted mind. So, think of creative thinking as carving space. Each time you challenge old assumptions or step outside your comfort zone, you clear a little more space for something new to emerge. The more you embrace this open, expansive mindset, the more your creative ideas will flow. Your mind is a vast landscape, full of unexplored territory. By carving out the clutter, you make room for what's truly innovative to shine through. Chapter 16. When the Sculpture Feels Ugly. Sometimes when you're in the middle of shaping your mind, it doesn't feel like a masterpiece. It feels like a mess. The chisel marks are uneven, the lines are rough, and everything you thought you knew about yourself suddenly feels uncertain. That's the moment when it's easiest to give up. When the sculpture feels ugly, it's tempting to believe that the work is pointless, or that you're failing. But here's the truth. Growth doesn't always look pretty. Change is messy, and transformation often feels uncomfortable. When you're in the process of reshaping your thoughts and beliefs, you're challenging old patterns and carving away at deep-rooted fears. The cracks and bumps you see are actually signs of progress. They're the remnants of the old you making space for something new. Just like an artist who steps back to view their sculpture from a distance, You need perspective. In these moments, when your mind feels chaotic or your self-image feels shattered, don't rush to fix it. Instead, trust the process. Keep chiseling, keep refining, and remember that the beauty is often hidden in the struggle. The more you work through the discomfort, the clearer your vision will become. You might not see the final shape right away, but that doesn't mean it's not forming. When the sculpture feels ugly, it's simply the messy middle of the creative process. Embrace it, because it means you're on the right track. The ugliness isn't the end of the journey. It's part of what makes the final piece worth admiring. Chapter 17. Environment shapes the sculptor too. The environment you live in plays a huge role in shaping who you become. It's easy to think that the work of sculpting your mind is all about what you do internally, but your external surroundings are just as powerful. Think of your mind as a garden. You can plant the seeds of growth, but if the soil is rocky, dry, or overcrowded with weeds, it will be much harder for those seeds to thrive. Your environment provides the foundation for the thoughts and actions that shape your life. If you surround yourself with negativity, stress, or chaos, it's harder to cultivate peace and clarity within. But if you create an environment that supports your growth, whether that's a clean, organized space, a community of like-minded people, or even the media you consume, you set yourself up for success. People often underestimate how much energy is absorbed from their surroundings. Negative people, toxic relationships, and cluttered spaces drain mental energy, making it harder to focus and think clearly. On the flip side, a supportive environment can inspire new ideas, increase your motivation, and help you maintain the mindset needed to sculpt your best self. Your environment doesn't just influence your mood, it shapes your mindset. You're not just the thoughts you think, you're the environment you create around yourself. Just as an artist needs the right tools and space to create, you need the right surroundings to nurture your mind. So, ask yourself, what is your environment telling you? Does it inspire you or limit you? Sculpting your mind means not only working on your internal world but also shaping your external space to support your growth. Chapter 18. Daily Sculpting Practices. Sculpting your mind isn't a one-time event. It's a daily practice, much like a master artist chiseling away at their creation, bit by bit. The tools you use to shape your thoughts, your habits and routines, are just as important as the mindset you adopt. To truly transform your thinking, you need to commit to sculpting every day. The key is consistency. You don't have to carve out hours at a time, but even just a few minutes a day can make a huge difference. Start by setting aside quiet moments for self-reflection. This could be as simple as 5 minutes in the morning before your day starts, or a quiet moment before bed. Use that time to focus on your intentions, your mindset, and your goals. Think of it as sharpening your tools for the day ahead. Another powerful practice is journaling. Writing down your thoughts helps you process them and gain clarity. It's like putting a mirror to your mind, allowing you to see the thoughts that no longer serve you and the ones you want to cultivate. Meditation is another effective tool. It helps clear the mental clutter and strengthens your focus. By practicing mindfulness, you gain control over your thoughts rather than letting them control you. Affirmations are also an essential practice. By repeating positive statements about yourself and your abilities, you create a mental foundation rooted in self-belief. These daily habits build a steady rhythm in your life, gradually transforming your mindset. Remember, sculpting isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Small, consistent steps are all it takes to create something extraordinary. Chapter 19. Your thoughts become your face. Your face is more than just a reflection in the mirror. It's the canvas where your thoughts are painted day by day. The way you carry yourself, the energy you radiate, even the expression on your face. These are all shaped by the thoughts you hold. If you constantly think thoughts of stress, fear, or negativity, they begin to show in your posture, your smile, and even in the way your eyes look at the world. It's no surprise that people often say, "You wear your thoughts on your face." When your mind is clouded by worries or self-doubt, it shows. But on the flip side, when you fill your thoughts with confidence, peace, and positivity, your face mirrors that too. You'll notice your posture straightening, your eyes brightening, and your expression becoming more open. This isn't about forcing a fake smile, it's about aligning your internal state with your external presence. Your thoughts shape the way you move through life. If you think you are confident, you'll stand taller. If you believe you are capable, you'll approach challenges with more ease. It's a reflection of what's inside. Just as a sculptor carves the shape of a statue, your thoughts carve the shape of your face and energy. The more you think empowering thoughts, the more those thoughts will radiate from you, turning your face into a reflection of strength, calm, and authenticity. Your thoughts become your face because they are the foundation of your presence. You don't just look how you feel, you project what you believe. Chapter 20. The Masterpiece in Progress. You are always a work in progress. The idea of a finished masterpiece is an illusion because life doesn't work in static perfection. It flows, it evolves, it changes. We are constantly chiseling away at who we are, sometimes shaping, sometimes refining, and sometimes rethinking entirely. What's beautiful about this is that progress itself is the masterpiece. You're not meant to become something perfect or unchanging. Instead, you're meant to become someone who keeps growing, learning, and adapting. This is the heart of the sculpting process. Each day, with every thought, every decision, and every action, you carve another piece of yourself into something greater. What seems like a small change today may reveal its power tomorrow. The true beauty lies not in reaching the final shape, but in the ongoing journey of becoming. Remember, every great artist creates not to reach perfection, but to express something deeper, something more authentic. The masterpiece is in the making, not in the end. Just because your thoughts or actions may feel messy or imperfect now, doesn't mean they're not contributing to something incredible. Every line, every shift in perspective is part of the whole picture. So embrace the process. Accept that you are a masterpiece in progress, a living, breathing sculpture that is constantly evolving. Perfection isn't the goal. The goal is to show up, keep chiseling, and enjoy the ride. In the end, the masterpiece you are creating is not just your outer life, but your inner self, shaped by each thought, each challenge, and each victory along the way. Conclusion. As you reach the end of this journey, remember, you are never finished sculpting your mind. Just like a masterpiece, the process of thought sculpting is ongoing. There will always be new thoughts to shape, new beliefs to challenge, and new paths to create. The beauty of this journey is that you get to choose what you focus on, what you build, and how you grow. You are the artist of your mind, and with every thought you repeat, you carve out a new version of yourself. Some days will be easier than others. Some thoughts will resist change, and you'll hit moments where it feels like you're not making progress. But that's okay. Every stroke of the chisel matters. Every small shift is a step forward. Your mind, like raw marble, is a work in progress, but it's always capable of becoming something greater. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment to start sculpting. Begin now in the present. Use the tools you've learned, the power of repetition, the clarity of quiet, the ability to challenge the inner critic. Each thought you choose, each belief you strengthen is a part of the masterpiece you're creating. Remember, it's not about perfection, It's about progress. So keep chiseling away, keep visualizing your true self, and most importantly, keep creating. You are not just sculpting your thoughts, you're sculpting your future. And that future is yours to design one thought at a time.